That build-up was probably a little more exciting than it needed to be, since this is our first but not only little stream that we're going to be doing. Uh, Welcome to It's Not a Sprint. Sparebrained Ideas is a company that is focused on doing tools and utilities and all sorts of interesting projects for the community. And to that end, we did some things early on, like, for example, Dynamics Con. We have put out a book about using Business Central for the first time, and I'm going to be returning us to our roots. If some of you may remember last year when I did a lot of live streaming of development to show around how Business Central works. So we're going to make a return to doing a lot more things around the streaming platform, but we're going to do some fun new stuff. And so let's talk about that real quick. First of all, every other Friday, we're going to be doing a stream like this that is just a recap of what have we got going on and what have we done for the past couple weeks, what are the things that you can expect coming up. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go through some different things. For example, starting on Monday, we are going to return to the Beginning Corporation. Those of you who followed along last year with this project, we were actually using Business Central as not only the gaming engine, but also the core mechanics of the game. So we were in the process of building a mobile-friendly online multiplayer game using business concepts. So we're going to go back to that and see where we left off. It was a vacation project that spilled out of my vacation last year, but now we'll get moving on that in a bigger way. Then we are going to be introducing a new project that people have not heard of before, and that is something I'm excited to work on called Cronus Foundations. For those of you who have worked with Business Central a long time and particularly have attempted to demonstrate or teach people using the Cronus database, it's unfortunately not as strong as it could be. There are a lot of things about that company that have been merged together from individual databases over time, which is why you have a company that sells bicycles and computers and all manner of other things. It's trying to accomplish a lot of different things in one business entity. And also, those of you who've worked with the demo data set for things like Power BI or Performance Toolkit, you know the challenge of there's not much data in there. And you can't really rely on being able to do like month over month show how sales figures could forecast. So Cronus Foundations is going to be a new project, and you'll be able to see it live on the website shortly, what the different companies are. As a matter of fact, we're going to do a little sneak preview of that right now because I think you guys will find that a lot of fun. What I've sketched out is we're going to make 5 new Cronus companies that are a family of entities. Cronus Creatures Consolidated, a little tricky to say fast, is going to be a parent company to 4 other pet and pet-related type companies that each have different aspects to them. So, for example, a company that buys and sells toys, your basic sales and purchasing, fulfillment with drop shipments and lead times, and thinking about all the different substitutions and some light assembly work. Whereas maybe All You Can See will do some things around the job module using resources to implement custom aquariums. So we're going to have a lot of interesting things that we're going to be able to do with this. And this toolkit we're going to be building as a live thing on the stream. And it is going to be an open source tool that you'll be able to use. And it is the intended design of this is to be a deployable extension that you can use to create Docker images with, to use for testing in unit tests, integration tests, that sort of thing. But instead of just being a Kerchunk, you just import the data and now you have all your posted documents. The design of this is going to be more tailored towards generating the data and then posting the data. It's a slower process, but it does mean that, for example, those of you who are creating ISV solutions that are going to have information you want to exist on posted documents, such as custom fields on customers and items that should flow through the whole process, your custom gets installed before this toolkit runs the execution program, and now all of that custom data is in there. The plan here is to do some demonstration scripts around how to use this data. I think there is a lot of potential to being able to learn more easily with more logical data, as well as being able to demonstrate it at its best. I find Cronus is very hard for salespeople to demonstrate. Which location again? I forget. So I think this will be a great toolkit that we'll find a lot of value in. We're going to be building that live, and that'll be a lot of fun. We'll do it one company at a time to keep things nice and simple. You'll be able to see lots more. We're going to explain on that next Wednesday afternoon. Both the beginning and Wednesday Cronus Foundation streams are going to be at the same time as this. A lot of our streams are going to be 3 p.m. European time, which does make it a little hard for West Coast US folks, so I apologize for that, but they'll all be available on YouTube afterwards. So unlike last year's live stream where I did everything on camera, which made it a lot of content, we'll probably do a lot more time-lapse things that are more focused around showing the best things. Based on popular demand, one of the other things that I will look forward to doing with all of you is I'm going to do once a month, I'm going to host a community code review. There are a number of MVPs and other experts in the community that would love to participate in doing some best practice looks. So what we're going to do is at the end of June will be our first session, and each month I will schedule up some people to come join me in one of these types of sessions. And we'll look at code together and go, what could be smarter? What could be better? And there's never going to be a 100% perfect way, but at least we can cover a lot of the things of what is definitely a 100% wrong way. Help people get to know how that's all going to go. And that will be once a month, every last Tuesday of every month. I'm going to bump that back to be 4 o'clock. I don't think I have that math right on this slide, but it'll be 4 o'clock European time to be a little gentler for the Pacific folks. And lastly, in the regular rotation of streams that we're going to be doing, I'm launching a new project starting in July that will be a bold and experimental sort of thing. I don't know if it'll work all out, but we're going to try it anyways. I'm going to request that people send in applications to become mentored into Business Central. I will work through the process of teaching people Business Central application basics, development basics, and the goal out of this mentoring live stream is once a week for the full afternoon, we're going to do deep dives, and they're going to come out of each session with a bunch of homework, and all of this content will be streamed and available on YouTube afterwards. My objective is to have about a half dozen people that we bring through this process, which will, right now, I'm pegging at about 20 weeks. I think that's a doable thing for one afternoon a week, plus a little homework time. And the goal out of this is hopefully that that first group of people will come out of this and go, I'm able to accept a junior developer position at a company, and those companies can come back and say, you know what, instead of a 6 or 12 month lead time to get this person to billable and usable, that brought it down to only a month. And we were able to start getting some things, get some projects started day one. So if this goes well as a project, then we'll know by the end of the year if everything has gone well for the applicants who have gone through this process, and we'll see if that was a worthwhile experiment. If so, then we will do more sessions of that next year. But all of the content will be available, so even if there are more applicants than there are positions available in the live stream, everyone can follow along and do the same sort of homework. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be every Thursday afternoon, and that one, because it's going to be a 4-hour block, I do need to start it earlier European time. That'll be from 1 p.m. To probably about 5 p.m. I'm going to try to keep it to a half-day session once a week. Most people are going to be able to find that amount of time to invest in some things if they're trying to learn some new skills. So we'll see how that works out. All of these are going to be live on the website. As soon as I finish the stream, I'll hit publish, and people will be able to go find out more details of what are we thinking for the mentoring, who can apply, how can I apply, when do I need to apply by. And this is designed, particularly the mentoring program, is designed to be people who have at least some basic knowledge of business process. They know how they've seen an invoice before. They understand the concept of what payables and receivables is. Very basic bookkeeping knowledge. And beyond that, we're going to teach them most everything. Between all those, because I'm a crazy person and do lots of things all the time, I do have more books. There are some underway right now. I am going to continue to write articles and blog posts about different things that can be useful. And I do have some tools that I'm not going to schedule them as live streams, but I am going to continue to produce some open source tools, because one of the challenges in our industry is that it can be sometimes very difficult to see real world examples of how code should work, since most of the code that we're making is for IP protected products, or it's for NDA non-disclosable customer work. Oftentimes it's a real challenge to find real projects, and there's not a lot of utilities in the space yet that are open source that any customer could benefit from. So I'm going to be creating lots more of those and doing spontaneous streams or recordings around them, do blog posts of how they work, and there's a couple other odds and ends around that, particularly in the books department. I, for example, sometime in the next couple of weeks will be... I've got a proof in my hand. So I'm looking super forward to finishing up making the hard copy of this available. But I will be writing some new ones as well. There's a lot of demand for a similar approach of developer basics to get people started. And I think that would dovetail very well with test piloting that with the mentorship program. So we'll be doing that in a live sort of way as well. And I believe that covers it for today. That's a lot of stuff coming. It's a lot of content coming. I know it is. As I said, it's going to be all available on YouTube after. So if it's not in a time that's convenient for you because you're working or sleeping, that's okay. All of this is going to be on the YouTube channel afterwards. As you're enjoying this content, if you find that what we're producing has value and you want to support helping us make more of this content, we are going to also be launching a Patreon. So for those of you who find that you've seen a lot of real value out of some of the things that we're producing over the upcoming months, or have benefited from the Discord channel, things like that, we're going to have that as an option as well. So with that, I'm going to wrap this at only the 15-minute, trying to keep it short for everyone. I'm going to wrap this up here at 15 minutes, and I'm going to see lots more of you guys, and you'll see lots more of me as well in the upcoming months. So I appreciate everyone who tuned in today, and we'll see. Fun stuff. If those of you who are watching are technically minded people, don't forget that today is a BC Beer and R, and I'm going to be demoing some projects that are not in this list yet. So it's going to be lots of fun of talking about some things that I can hopefully reveal, I hope, this summer. So look forward to seeing you all soon, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll do another one of these as a recap in 2 weeks. See you then.